And now, Giants Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
Yeah, let me make sure that my mic is good to go. Welcome to Giants Sports Talk Live, Postgame, San Francisco.
Hey, it's Giants. Been a day of fuck-ups anyway, Eric. It's been a day of fuck-ups anyway.
God, dude. I'm all over the place, dude. All over the place. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. Giants lose 2-1. First game down in L.A. Glenn, I don't know how they did it. You draw 10 walks, and you get one hit. My God. This was a tough one. And look, Logan Webb went out there. We talked about it in the pregame, Glenn, our little pregame we did. Webb needs to go out there and be Webb-like, and he was. The guy went out there and shoved for 7 innings. Only allowed 1 run. That was it. And just wasn't enough. Giants could not do anything with the bats today.
Throw out my lack of expertise, because who did I tell you had to come up with a big play today? Who had to show up?
That would have been, yeah. Matter of fact, let's play this as we get this done.
I'm just hanging out at Curry's funeral.
We don't need the introduction. Let's just go ahead and we'll bring up the box score. We don't need the special sounder. I think Glenn, you have taken care of that.
There's your final show today. You had to have guys step up to the plate tonight. You needed those blue-collar guys. You just need somebody. You know, maybe the guy you don't expect to be your go-to guy. And in the meantime, see, I'm all over the place. You still need your horses to pull the load here. Dude, Adamas? What is it about the team, Eric? When things are going good, they're just on a roll. And then they get back to their old ways. No, 1 hit in the 11th inning yesterday, Eric, and we still come up with a victory. You know, Shamrocks were flying yesterday, my friend. It was like Patrick's Day. And then tonight, I don't know. I've been a little geared up to the pregame show. I thought, all right, let's get a win under our belt. We needed it because the Mets had won. Already 6-1 over San Diego. It was must-win baseball tonight. And for lack of a better term, they just didn't show up. Except our Gold Glove catcher. Take it away, Eric.
Dodgers win 2-1. Giants 1 run on 1 hit. Dodgers actually, they weren't hitting very much either. They got 2 runs on 5 hits. Neither team was really scalding the ball other than one man, and that was Shohei Ohtani. He had 2 doubles. Other than that, it was pretty damn weak contact if you think about it. Dreyer gets the win. Webb gets the loss. I can't believe it. He got a loss in that. Such a great performance. But there you go. Vesia gets the save. What's the port of even going through? 04, 04, 04, 04, 04, 04, 04, 1 4, 04, 04, 04. 04 with hits and runners in scoring position.
Webb
goes 7.
Hold on. As far as the batting order, Eric, I like the batting order, and I'll give him this. There were guys in that lineup who got on base. We were willing to take some walks, almost to a fault tonight, but we got the walks. How many total?
Hey. Yeah, 10.
And
10.
We're Eric, 10, and where were the runs? What is going on? I guess you can't score runs. You can't drive them in with one hit, can you?
No, you can't. No, you can't. All right. Again, Webb, 7 innings, only 4 hits, only 1 earned, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Lucchesi came in for 1 inning of work. It was a nice, clean inning. Gave up a hit, but he got through it. Webb threw 103 pitches today to get through those 7 innings, 71 of them for strikes. Man, what are you going to do, man? And then, of course, Bailey, we'll get into that here shortly. Man, oh,
what
man.
Do you do? Get some hits. Play some ball. But to me, Eric, the more meaningful the situation, the worse they play.
Yeah, you could kind of say that. Yeah, I think you could say that. When there was nothing to play for, they're out there swinging the bats. Yeah.
And it's becoming a closed casket affair at this point, Eric.
Oh, my gosh, dude. My gosh. Anyways, hey, Glenn, we have a special guest, don't we?
Hey, we got some good news tonight, Eric. Let's see. We haven't done this for a long, long time.
I know where it's at.
And now, another special guest appearance on Giant Sports Talk Live.
Who could it be?
All right. Hey, look at that. Mr. Salty himself, Lou Marson, has joined the show for us. He's gonna hang out for a few minutes and want to hear what he has to say about.
Look at that! He gets his own special intro. Yeah. Rolling out the red carpet.
I feel honored. Thank you, chat. Yeah, guys, you guys bring up a good point, but I got to remind you, and I know Glenn said a little bit. This is now 2 straight games, and if you take out the 11th inning yesterday, that's basically now 20 innings, and we've gotten 2 hits. Let me repeat that. 20 innings, and we've gotten hits. That's not a winning organization. It's sort of unbelievable how this can happen. And it even gets worse when you go back a little bit. When we had a 4-1 lead, we only got 2 hits. The rest of theirs, so they're just not hitting. And, it's one of those things. I think I saw this the first time ever in history you've had a team get 10 walks, strike out 14 times, and be 0 for 7 runners scoring position. It's almost impossible to be done in 112 years. So, it's one of those things. And, I see a lot of people in the chat are criticizing the umpire. I admit it was inconsistent, but you got to also say the Giants wouldn't have scored if the umpires were consistent. They were right on the line too. So I think it went both ways. I thought Webb pitched great today. He didn't pitch like an ace because then he would have pitched a shutout and they would have won, Robert. When a team doesn't win, you don't pitch like an ace. So let's remember that. But I think very heartening. Now you're going to have to go tomorrow against Kershaw. It's going to be the last home game Kershaw pitches. It's going to be very emotional. And either he's going to pitch great, especially since he got destroyed last week up in Oracle. He's going to make adjustments, and it's going to be tough. The Dodgers are going to have the best pitcher in all 4 games. And if we don't win tomorrow, it's hard to win when your number 1 and 2 guys both don't come through. Because, Tang pitched great the other day, but it's a lot different when you're pitching at your rivals down in Dodger Stadium. But I think the key thing today was the old Giants 0 for 7 runners to scoring position. And some of the and I don't mind that they go 0 for 7, but some of the at-bats were just horrible. And I don't understand when it's a 1-run game and you basically are trying to get a run. Why has Melvin forgotten about the bunt? You have your number 9 guy, Gilbert. You have 2 guys on, never tries to bunt. And then what happens? Gets nowhere. I mean, it's, you have the top of the lineup coming up. That's the number 9's responsibility. And the worst thing is he's a decent bunter.
Right. And he's got speed, Lou.
So you put it down, you put the pressure on the Dodgers, anything can happen. But you got to put the bunt down. When you're not hitting in run scoring position, you got to do whatever it takes, because then it's a fly ball. You could have an error. You could do something. But, Melvin, for some reason, he just doesn't want to put the bunt down. I don't really care if it doesn't make sense. You got to put the bunt down so you get runners in second and third. I mean, my God, every other manager would do it. And I think it all goes back, and I'll use this a lot. We were so spoiled by Bochy, Roger Craig, some of these managers that did whatever it takes to win. And creative ball. There you go. And I heard a stat the other night, and the thing about Bochy and Melvin, Bochy had a situation where Texas needed the win at Houston. All hands on deck. They needed the win. He used everybody except the pitcher by the 7th inning. He had 2 guys pinch hit. He didn't care. His terminology is, I want to win it in 9. If we go to extra innings, we'll adjust. You got to do whatever it takes to win. Does Melvin think we still got a whole month to play? Especially with the Mets winning. With us losing, it's just another game. And by the way, who cares about the Mets? The Reds won again. So they're ahead of us, and it's one of these things where he's not thinking short term. And that's what you got to start thinking of now. You got to do whatever it takes to get a run. You knew that it was going to be a low scoring game to begin with. 1 run was precious at that time, and we wind up getting nothing. So
Lou, I'll correct you. I got to correct my old pal Lou. He says about now it should have already been done. Not now. It should have been done. Why have they waited to? Again, I don't want to get on and harp on about Bob Melvin. We've done that before, Eric. But my God, like I said to Lou, a little creativity. Get the juices flowing. Try to stir it up. It's the same old black and white, plain, running out of time, who cares attitude. And it's boring baseball, Eric. You and I did pregame. I was fired up again.
Yeah.
You got me fired up for tonight's game.
Yeah, I was ready to go, man.
You and I showed up. It would be nice if the Giants showed up.
Yeah, and I'll just say this. Again, we're criticizing Melvin. I was very upset at Arizona yesterday because they had a chance to win it, but they had their number 8 and number 9 batters. It's a lot different when you're going to have your number 1, 2, and 3 batters come up with a chance to score. It's a big difference. You're just hoping to sort of make contact with the 8th or 9th batters. But when you have a chance to butt them over and you have Ramos, who's probably been the best offensive hitter all year, you got to do it. Or why is he leading off?
And here's the great point, Lou. You got the speed in Gilbert. He's pretty quick. He showed that he can lay down a bunt. And not only that, guess what? You advance the runner, so you take the double play out of the equation. Because what has Ramos been doing a lot? He's been hitting the ball into the ground. Yesterday, I think he hit into 2 double plays. So why not get out of that situation? And like you said, you get the ball in the air, or even if you hit a ground ball, it depends if they're playing the defense in or not.
Not very strategic.
Maybe you score that
Eric.
run. And that's the problem. I don't understand that.
Eric,
either.
I just want to remind you, how did the Dodgers score?
There you go. Right?
Just hit it on the ground, and then to shortstop. And I know we'll talk about the play. Let the defense get you out. Let them do something. The Giants just for some reason don't do these little things. Yeah, put the pressure on the defense. Overreaction. So
and that leads us to the next question, Luke, because that 1 run could have been prevented if Patrick Bailey had just squeezed the mitt before he started swiping. There could have been an out. Look, he needs to make that play. I mean, that was a beautiful throw by Adames. It was a little bit low, but come on, you're a catcher. You got to catch that, and you got to make that tag. You have to. And that was just brutal. Again, And then right afterwards, right? If I'm not mistaken, I think that's when what happened right after that? Someone hit a double after that. Then I can't remember how it all panned out. But
and that's happened 4 times this year. Now Bailey, again, I think that's one of the biggest problems this year with the Giants defense. And I'll bring up Ramos. Constantly in the outfield, it's an adventure with him. Now Bailey's a great framer, but the exact same play has happened 4 times. I played catcher, grammar school, high school, nothing big. But the job of the catcher, no matter what, before you put the tag is, you got to make sure you have the ball. And if you watch that play, he never had it for a second. It's almost like a wide receiver that knows he's going to get hit. So he basically, tries to catch the ball.
Footsteps.
Yeah, here's the footsteps. But, on a play like that, especially in a 0-0 game, that's either a momentum huge changer, because if you knock them out, you know what? They don't score. And it's a 0-0. Now you go back where here it is, you get runners at first and second, it's 0-0. You got to bunt them. 1 run is like a 2-run homer there. That's how important those 2 runs are. Because basic guys, when the Dodgers took a 2-0 lead, did you really think we were going to come back? The 2-0 felt more like a 4-0 win. A 4-0 lead. And again, on games, we're in the Dodgers where everyone's going to say, oh, well, the Dodgers don't need the games. What do you mean they don't? They haven't won the division yet. They're still not in the playoffs yet. They would love 2 things. Sweep the Giants, have the Padres lose a few, and guess what happens? You take care of San Diego, you win the division, and you say bye-bye to the Giants. You get basically 2 birds at 1 stone.
That's true. That is a fact, man. And that's the last thing I wanted to see. I didn't want to see the Dodgers celebrating on the field in Dodger Stadium while the Giants are in town. I don't get it. I can't get over how you could sit there and be so. Look, Yamamoto, they got him out of there. Hell, they could have had him out of there in the 5th inning, even maybe before that if they got a few hits. But they made him throw. So if you're going to make him throw, how do you not execute with the bat? I don't understand it, man. It's a good approach to get the pitches, but man, you gotta make some hay when you got guys on. And again, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They had the opportunities, but again, a certain stat that creeps back up again, Glenn, and you talk about it often. Sure, you get 10 walks, but then you had 14 strikeouts. And the biggest strikeout to date, oh my God. Yes, Adames should have done something, okay? But that Matt Chapman at bat, oh my God. That strike 3, it was in the left-hander's batter's box. It was in the left-handed batter's box. And
you're being gracious. It might even been farther outside than that.
That was absolute mess. You cannot do that. You can't. And look, yes, he's a major league player. I get it. But my God, maybe it's just he has issues when there's guys on. Maybe when the pressure rises, maybe it's just a little bit difficult. Look, some people can rise to the occasion, right? And I'm not saying that he never has, because he's hit some walk-offs. But in a situation like that, man, you got to – and he drew 2 walks earlier in the game, right? It looked like he was seeing it somewhat. But my God, that was just atrocious, man. Atrocious.
Yeah, and it's not just him, Eric. If it was one guy, and like I think I was saying to you in the green room before the show, if it was a game where we come out and have 1 hit, and you go, holy crap, what a day! Like, that won't happen again. This happens again and again and again. Now, listening to KMBR today, Lou off the top of the show was talking about Clayton Kershaw is going to retire at the end of the year. Well, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the show. But listen to this fan base. It drives me out of my freaking mind. They're on KNBR all day today. Well, don't worry about game 2. What is it about our competition? Whoever we're playing are going to roll over. He's 10-2. He's 10-2. What would that be? Double those numbers, Eric. If he had 22 starts, he's 20-2. The guy can pitch. Oh, don't worry about the Dodgers. Don't worry. Why do people refuse to accept that the teams we're playing are better than us? we've got to. That's why we have to scratch runs. We have to nibble and get everything we can. If you have to bunt in a run when people think we should hit, take a run. This is terrible, guys. I said to you, close casket affair soon. This is getting really ugly.
And
really
real quick, Ibrahim makes a great point. And look, when Dom Smith went down, I got worried because, man, that guy would come up in situations and you felt pretty damn good. He would always give you a good at-bat, and his defense was great. And Ibrahim's talking about it. You need to have more balance in the lineup with contact. Dom Smith is so valuable because of it. You need a handful of those in the lineup. Yeah, we got you got the home run threat in the lineup. What we need guys that are going to make contact and that aren't going to strike out a ton.
Well, let me ask you something, Eric. Oh, sorry, Lou. Go ahead.
No. What I was going to say. Go ahead.
No, Eric, you were going to say that you're talking about the lineup and his comment. People have been on the show and on the NBC Bay Area broadcast. They've been talking. Just the other day, they looked at the lineup and go, "This might be today's lineup. This might be the lineup we see next year." Well, obviously, it's not working. How are they going to address the guys now? They've got 3 guys long term now. You've got to work people in around them. They've got pieces signed already. How are they going to fix the direction of the ball club, Eric?
It can be fixed. No, it can be fixed. I think we talked about it the other day. I think, what did we say? There's about what? Let's break it down, right? Adames, Chapman, Devers, right?
And Lee.
And we could say Lee. And Bailey is probably coming back, right? Bailey is probably. So you got 4 positions.
Why is Bailey coming back? Why is Bailey coming back, Eric?
Who else? Who else is it going to be?
Go out and get Buster Posey, do your magic. Go out and get me a catcher.
Maybe
a catcher who can hit. You cannot be one-hit wonder. And they are one-hit wonders.
And you know what? That may happen. I'm just going to stick with the – but I think left field, I got a feeling that they're going to adjust left field. They're going to adjust right field. Second base isn't necessarily cemented in stone, I would think. And then the DH. Who are you going to have as a DH? Now, maybe that's taken care of between Eldridge and Devers, because I think maybe those 2 are going to go off and on as far as what's going to happen at first base and DH. Kind of like what they did with Dom Smith, right, this year. And it worked out pretty good. So I got a feeling. And then, of course, starting pitching. Got to go get a freaking reliever. I mean, but the good thing is, the only good thing about this is they got a lot of money that they can spend. And maybe they do some trades. And
so the fan base better stop with the falling in love. I know you, Lou, you and I talk about it, Lou. Stop the love affair with, we got Schmidt and we've got, everybody was fall. I was getting messages from some fans tonight, Eric, and they're talking, Eldridge isn't ready. As much as he isn't ready.
No.
Drew Gilbert was started the year 0-12 or 0-13, but you fell in love with him pretty quick. So,
and you know what?
Fans get on a player, and no matter how bad he can be, there's too many excuses on and off the field. That's all I can say.
You can't. You got to give Eldridge a look. I'll tell you. Yes, he had 2 strikeouts, but I tell you what, the at bat he had against Dreyer, who is a very tough lefty, he clobbered that hanging slider. He didn't miss it. He hit it over 100 miles an hour. And look, that's all you can ask. It wound up hitting it right to an outfielder, but I'm okay. Just give the kid some time, man. He's played in literally 3 games. Come on, man.
Oh, stop it. Look, Insane Sports Takes really been riling up lately. He goes, Glenn, you have the love affair with Wilmers. He can't be talking. I was the one, Eric, who said he should have been gone at the trade deadline. He should be gone already.
Hey, he said just joking around. LOL. He's joking.
I know, but you know how wound up. I mean, it's not even Eric, at this point of the season, this isn't even a joking matter anymore, Eric. There's no, the shenanigans got to stop. It's abysmal. It's a bit, isn't it really, guys? Isn't it hard to believe how bad a team that's still sort of nibbling at the race with a week to go has been so freaking bad.
And I tell you, and this is the worst time to go cold. Right. This club right now, especially the lineup, is ice freaking cold. Ice cold. I harken back to the days of Foreigner. I think they had a certain song, right?
You're as cold.
Cold as ice.
Here you go, Lou.
Willing to sacrifice
Sacrifice.
my love.
man.
You're willing to sacrifice my love.
Hey, Eric and Glenn, you know what one of the big problems could be? And then I'm going to tell you what I wanted to bring up before is, unfortunately, the great Brett Wisely is no longer in the Giants organization as he was DF'd and the Atlanta Braves picked him up. So it's a less crumb. We don't have to worry about him next year. But I'm going to bring up the stat that you think of. The Giants have had one guy that sort of got the key hits the first 3 months of the season, and that was Wilmer. Flores came through left and right. Then July, August, and September, every time somebody got pinch hit for, this guy came through, and that was Dominic Smith. If you take both of those guys out in that 3-month period, the Giants would be maybe 15 games below 500. Dominic Smith was so key, but nobody else really does anything like that. You know, nobody's like clutch. I thought Dominic Smith, you know, his defense improved a lot, and I liked it. But it seemed like he'd get the big hit in the 8th inning. He'd come up to pinch hit, get the big hit. You know, and instead now what we do is we bring up Bailey to pinch hit. Well, the guy's batting 198. What the hell is he going to do? You know, he'll get lucky once in a blue moon when he starts, not pinch hitting. And I think the real big problem with the Giants is, you know, this is the biggest road trip. Is Adames going to do anything? He's done nothing. He hasn't gotten a hit this whole road trip. The highest paid Giant. Come on. You know, that's horrible. Second of all, we keep talking about Eldridge. You know, you need a jolt. I didn't like him being pitch hit for Wilmer. I don't care.
I didn't like it either.
I saw what Ohtani did. I know he's the best, but against lefties, he's hit the ball all over the place. We got to stop Baby and Eldridge, okay? The guy batted 277 in the minors against lefties. He can hit lefties. Whenever lefty comes, stop with his BS. He's a guy that can make contact. You know, again, Eldridge will get a hit. You know, we sort of felt the same way when Devers didn't come through, but, you know, we had the bases loaded. Where was Devers? Okay? Devers, Adames, and Chapman. The big three tonight. You can't give me a fly ball. You can't give me something tough. And last but not least, I don't understand, why does Lee have to swing on only one leg? Okay? He swings so hard where it's like on his back leg and his right leg does a kick. How about just like try to slap down on the ball and use your speed that everyone says you have and just hit a ball on the ground and try to beat it out once in a while? I mean, I've never seen a guy, he has two problems. He swings on one leg, and the other thing, get a fucking helmet that fits you. Why does it always flying off every swing because you swing so hard? How about a nice easy swing? Sort of like when we all golf and, you know, you try to overhit the ball and the ball gets hooked or you shank it. Just a nice hit. Just make contact. You know, I mean, he does it where it's hard to watch. And the other thing about the Giants here, and I'll use Glenn's thing, it's not fun to watch. You know, tonight we had both, you know, the football game was coming down to the fourth and the Giant game. I go, all right, I'll watch the football game, you know, because the Giants right now just aren't exciting. It's not a great product to watch. You know, we were all worried yesterday. We watched it because there was no competition. And then the 10th inning, they got lucky. It's like, Jesus, this team ever going to show up? Are we going to get swept by Arizona? And, you know, I just think it's one of those things where they keep thinking about the last 6 games of the season. We just need to somehow get there. Well, it doesn't do you any good if you're going to go 1-6. The last 6 games, you're already going to be done. The only thing you're going to look forward to the last 6 games is, okay, Webb's going to try to get to 200 innings, you know, so he can say, I've done 200 innings. He's going to try to lead the league in strikeouts, which is great. But you know what? Beside that, what else do you really have to look forward to once they get eliminated? Eldridge is already up. There's nobody in the minors we want to see. You know, and it's just sort of frustrating. I mean, you know, tonight was sort of the Giants, I'd say 2/3 of the season watching. Strikeout 14 times. 0 for 7 runners scoring position. You know, but you got 10 gifts. And did they have an error? Yeah, 10. No errors, but 10 gifts. You know, it's hard. You're basically every inning you have a runner on to start the inning. You can't do anything. You know, and that's why other teams, you got to do whatever it takes. How about get a runner on and try a steal? I can't remember the last time in the last 2 weeks where we try to steal. Make an attempt, do something. I see a lot of people attempting on us, and then Bailey, guns them down, and then they stop. But you got to do something when your team is going through something like this. You got to do whatever it takes. Like tonight, the other thing about Gilbert, and I'll use this on I think 1-2 pitch. Sacrifice yourself. There was a ball that almost hit you. Don't get out of the way.
Take one for the team.
Take one for the team. Now you have the bases loaded and nobody out.
Yep.
I just wanted to come in because I know we're all frustrated, and it's one of those things where it's,
exasperating.
Yeah, there you go. And it's one of those things. The giant torture is definitely back, but I think it's worse. Because we're getting older and we already have gray hair. So now what's going to go?
Lou, I was in and out of the show last night because I was watching my WNBA, which I love to watch. Different game. People go, they don't dunk three.
The place was rocking. The place was rocking.
Oh,
it was like,
and as much as they lost it, it was heartbreaking. Oh, Eric couldn't believe it. I said, I got to get back to the game. They were up by 17. Now they're up by 8. They lost 75-74. Guess what? An expansion team.
Yep.
They were
against number one.
The WNBA. They were a playoff team, Lou.
And they almost beat the number 1 seed to go to game 3.
And there was a couple of thrillers tonight. The Fever came back and won. The Aces came back and won by a point. This stuff is exciting. Giants ball isn't. And something I brought up, it's good we got you on the show tonight because I got to ask you something. I brought this up with Eric the other night. We are pretty much we're a year removed from Farhan Zaidi. And everybody talking, it was Zaidi pulling the strings and talking about this lineup and lefty-righty and moving guys all over. It ain't Farhan. That philosophy did not change this year, Lou. That is a big issue. How are we going to address that, and will that ever change?
I think that was just more of an excuse. We found a way to get Farhan out. It might have been Melvin the whole time, but we always assumed it was Farhan because this year, I think they're doing it more this year without Farhan. I mean, we keep talking about the lineup. When the Giants went through that streak, Lee started one game against a righty. They scored runs. They did really well. And the next game, all of a sudden, Ramos is back. I think one of the things is this team, I almost think of us like, in football, you have the Miami Dolphins, right? Where the players have become more important than the coach. And they don't really tell the coach, the coach says something, but because they can get away with it. We see the same thing with Ramos in the outfield. It's not little league. This is the professionals. The other night was another embarrassment. He's had embarrassment on the running path. He basically, and he gets away with it because he's one of our best hitters. That should never happen. Remember, it's a team sport. There's no I in team. But the other thing we got to do is when we have our highest paid players like Adames and Chapman, and they can't hit in the clutch, they got to be told what the hell's going on, dude. That's our number one highest paid player of all time, the biggest road trip, and he's goose-egged. He's done nothing. Now,
you can't do that.
He made the great play. I agree.
He did.
Right? And which is great. But when you're making the most on the team, you got to go both ways. It's sort of like how everyone talks about Chapman's defense, but you don't talk he went 0 for 4 and left 11 runners on. It's just one of those things. This team, and I'm not saying it's always a chat, but I think a lot of it, people that work for the Giants, KMBR, the commercial leader, is they give these guys such a leeway. It's like they can't do anything wrong. Melvin, he's the greatest. It's like, guys, it's okay if they make a mistake, but you got to hold them accountable. When someone's making $33 million a year and he's 0 for 11 on the road trip, like right now, we're all over Eldridge. He's striking out. He's 0 for 10. Okay, Eldridge is a rookie, right? He makes about $1 million too. There's a guy who's been in the league 10 years who's doing worse, but nobody talks about Adames. Nobody. It's all about Eldridge. Why is he up? The other thing is everybody in the chat that's upset Eldridge, you guys have wanted him in here for the last 6 weeks. Now he's here. I think the timing's tough because you got to remember these games count. He probably should have been in, 6 weeks ago, and you don't start him on the road. at Arizona, where, it's different. The guy already has enough pressure. And then why do you bat him fifth? The guy's never done anything in the majors. You want him to do so much. And what's funny is everyone's praising him. Oh, in Arizona, he hit a ball at 405. In that series, there was 28 balls that went 400 feet. That's not ballpark. Stop praising him on a ball that almost went out. My colleague Dan said, oh, every other park. Dan, it did not even make the warning path, okay? I don't care if it went 405 and it's 423. There was 18 other balls that did it. Stop talking about the guy. How about talk about, hey, his eyes done good. I know he strikes out, but you got to remember, he's only striking out 40% of the time. Look what happened tonight. He only got 2 strikeouts out of 3. There were 4 other guys that struck out twice, but we only give Eldridge because Eldridge, why would we bring him up? He's not ready. Who else are we going to bring up? Without Eldridge, look at that lineup and tell me, at least with Eldridge, you want to watch the at-bat. Maybe it's going to happen. But he also needs time in the majors because if he doesn't come up this year, next year, it'll be instead of bad for maybe 2 weeks, it's going to be bad for 2 months. And then you guys are going to say, oh my God, is this guy ever good? You got to put the time in because as Eric said the other night, the biggest difference between AAA and the majors are the pitchers. Mm-hmm. Their changeups are unbelievable. Their fastballs all have movement. Their curveballs look like they're going to hit you. It's such a difference because these are the best. When you're in AAA, you have some guys that have been there 12 years. Some guys that maybe haven't made it. When you're in the majors, it's the creme of la creme. And you got to remember who he's gone against. You got Yamamoto tonight. The guy throws 11 different pitches. Yeah, ridiculous. He's seeing this for the first time, so give him a break. But if you got a problem, you got to complain to Adames and Chapman. And I'll even give Lee. I don't care if Lee strikes out, but just keep both feet on the ground. It's like the first pitch, he always tries to hit it out of the Grand Canyon, dude. It's like, dude, relax. Just make contact. So.
And it's funny. Problem with your boy Eric Matos. So, we don't even know what. Is he done? There's a lot of unanswered questions, Eric.
He had 4 hits today in Sacramento. By the way, he had 4 hits in Sacramento. So
we couldn't have used him, But guys, I just wanted to come on. First of all, thank you for having me. And
absolutely,
Chad, the one thing about baseball and why it's the great sport: 22 hours, and we'll be back at it. And we could be seeing history tomorrow. We got Kershaw, who. I will just tell you, to me, the one thing is we all talk about great Dodgers. He's definitely probably one of the top 5 pitchers in Dodgers history. Obviously behind, Sandy Koufax, to me is still number 1 because he was unhittable. I think, he's probably a little ahead of Oral Hershiser. You got to remember, Oral went, 73 innings and didn't give up a run. But the thing about Kershaw is he had a very unique pitch, that slow left-hand curveball. Mm-hmm. And if you take away his playoffs, but just regular season, he dominated,
Absolutely.
And he was here 13 years. And most important, I got to give him respect, with the same team. And, for great players, we just don't see him. He was drafted by them. He went through the system. He set the record earlier this year. With the strikeouts. And, I'm not a big Dodger fan, but all I've heard is off the field, a great guy. So being a Giants fan, I know you might not say, but this guy's an all-around good guy. Good guy, great with the community, does a lot for charity. 13 years with the same team and just pitching for 13 years. The last couple of years have not been easy for him. He hasn't pitched a complete year. But, he'll be missed, and I'm glad he's sort of retiring because it's one less Dodger pitcher we have to worry about in the future.
Isn't that – hey, Lou,
you mentioned something key there. Lou, Kershaw came through the system.
Yep. Yeah.
Our system is broken, not just the team, the organization.
It's going to take time to fix that. There's no doubt about it. But real quick, to Lou, what you said about Kershaw, spot on. The guy is a class act, right? The guy stuck with he could have easily gone to another team, because I remember a couple of years ago maybe going to Texas, since that's where he's from. But But he stuck with the Dodgers. And this, credit to the Dodgers. They stuck with him. They could have easily said, we don't want to deal with you. But they kept bringing him back, even when he was suffering injury.
No steroids, no drugs. He was never questioned about being on anything, right. And he, was 18 years with the same organization and playing.
He's a winner.
He's a winner, so he'll be missed, and I just wanted to commend that. And, guys, I'll see you guys in 72 hours on Hot Corner. Hopefully we have something to talk about because I can't take it.
I think we'll have something to talk about.
But hey, Chad, thank you for having me. You guys have a great rest of the show, and I'll listen in. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lou. All right. There's a great Lou. Right on, man. That's awesome.
The great Lou Marston. Lou, busy day, too. You got football going Sunday. You got the Giants, WNBA playoffs. I'll be watching that, so keep an eye open for what time we go live. I don't know what time we're going live either, but you got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah,
figure out what time we're on. It'll be an afternoon game in LA, but that means
that is.
I'm used to this time zone now. I'm like, Jesus, it's 1 o'clock.
You're back over what is that, Central Time, right? Something
when
like
the
that.
Clock, when the cuckoo clock comes out and goes cuckoo. That's it. Oh my God! Lou was on to a few good takes there, Eric. And like I say, I'm a little bit perplexed at the fan base. They blow off the competition. Oh, we'll sweep the Dodgers, and we all have no problem on Saturday because that's the Kershaw game. I'm like, you gotta live within some reality, and there's still the fans who we have time, Eric, and we can do this and we can do this, and you got to accept. Sometimes you have to tip your hat and accept defeat, Eric. This team is not making the playoffs, Eric.
No, this team is not making the playoffs. No, it's not. Ibrahim says Lou is always great. Speaks like how most of us feel. Yeah, absolutely. Lou's awesome, man. Lou is good stuff, man. Absolutely, guys. Gosh, dang, man. You expected better, right? And the thing is, you know what pisses me off about this, Glenn, is we had a fantastic pitching performance today. Fantastic. And it went all for naught because the lineup. And I don't get it.
Eric, like I said,
it's baseball. Look, you're going to go up, you're going to go down. But the thing is, the time that you want to be up is at the most inopportune time. They made a great run for it a couple of weeks ago, right? But now they're kind of falling on hard times, especially at the plate, man.
I called it last weekend of the Hot Corner. I said, just because we were hot and the Mets were cold, there's going to be a transition period. You're going to have to deal with them winning. Can we keep winning? So you have to, there's, cause and effect here. We were winning. We were back up in the race. Now we're losing. The Mets are winning.
And here's the thing. You had opportunities. Look, we can't cry over spilled milk, but you had opportunities in St. Louis. You had opportunities at home, and they couldn't capitalize on those opportunities. And unfortunately, this is where we're at right now, man. And there's no way that you're going to be able to recover from this because, look, it's just the pitching. Look, Robbie Ray might go out there, but we're going to have to – what's going to happen tomorrow with the lineup? I don't know, man. Look, are they going to be like this the rest of the way out? No, they're not going to be like this the rest of the way out. But, my God, the times that you should be able to capitalize, you should be able to capitalize. Jay Case donating $10.
Hey.
Tomorrow's game is Apple TV only.
I better start
Miller and Vince on the KNBR side. There you go.
I can never find those things. Jesus.
And Lewis chiming in says in the last 10, the Giants are 4-6. It's not getting it done. It's not getting it done.
No.
Not getting it done. You got to look, if you want to try to be doing something here, those numbers got to be reversed. You got to be 6-4 if you're trying to do something, not 4-6.
Yeah, and am I wrong, Eric? When you watch a ball club play day in, day out like we do, and we don't miss many innings, you and I know Lou and the crew at the other channels, we're locked in. Bad term of words there, but we're locked in on the Giants, Eric.
Uh-huh.
But to see an outing like tonight, you can teams, the great teams, have nights like tonight, nights like yesterday, the afternoon game. But this is unacceptable when it's one hit, two hits, one hit. No. That is what is going on. How is that even conceivable in this day and age?
Look, you know how they say you see something new every time you watch a baseball game? I've never seen a team draw 10 walks and only able to achieve 1 hit. That is the craziest. That's the craziest stat that I've ever seen. I mean,
are some people coming around to what I've been saying all year, Eric? I'm stealing the old football line. They are who I thought they were. A 500 ball club. And at this point, I may be bang on and cashing my ticket. They got to win 79 on the money, and I think
they win more than 70. I wouldn't be surprised if they finished a couple of games above 500.
So what happens to the rest? We got Kershaw tomorrow. Eric, we're going to lose this series.
Might. You might be able to split. The Giants might be able to split.
We might win one against Colorado to close out the season. Thanks again, Galoo. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Oh, he chimed in again. Says tonight was 2 losses with Webb pitching spectacular on the road. Yeah, that sucks. If you're pitching really good on the road and then your lineup can't pass. Again, I think we talked about it in a preview. Who was it? Huxley, our buddy Huxley. Yep. He said, what was it? Oh, how did he say?
It's not just Webb. We were talking
Verlander.
We were talking to Verlander in the pregame.
And Justin Kane and Matt Verlander. Yeah,
so it's not just Webb. So these aren't one-offs. That's the thing. Like Bailey not hitting, it's not a one-off. Him not being able to catch, even though everybody he's a Gold Glove winner, Glenn. The guy is inconsistent as hell.
Look, there's 2 things that he does really well behind the plate. 2 things. He can frame it, and he can throw guys out. Okay, that's fine.
And even that is debatable.
But he has issues with pass balls, catching the ball, blocking. He has issues with, and in the beginning of the season, his bat wasn't playing. It's playing now, right? Which is fine. The bat's playing now. He's the only one that got the hit today. That's it. He was it. Patrick Bailey was the only man today in the San Francisco Giants lineup to get a hit. So his bat's coming around, but you got to make those plays at home plate, man.
Well, the front office,
you got to make them.
You got scouts and a front office, which now includes Buster Posey. Go out in North America and the southern climate, Eric. You tell me in Major League, you can't find me a Major League Baseball quality catcher to replace this bum?
I don't know who, unless it's a trade. I mean, who else? What are you going to go with?
Last year and this year, I'm tired of the excuses. There's no excuse.
Well,
you know what? Dallas is right on. Even if you were trying to be this bad, is it possible to be this bad? It defies mathematical, based statistics. It's a game of numbers. It defies mathematical logic, the way that they put up numbers, Eric.
Well, I'll tell you
numbers. Can't even get
right. And well, the thing is, and to a certain extent, was it Bailey's fault why they lost? No, it's not. It's the lack of hitting which contributed to this loss today. It sucked because he could have prevented a run, but does that mean that the Dodgers would have not scored after that? Who knows? Again, that's counterfactual. We don't know. We don't know.
He gave up the winning run.
But one thing we did do.
I lay it on. It's on his shoulder. He cost us the game. Look,
one hit in 9 innings. When you got guys and running, you got bases loaded with 1 out. You got freaking guys at second base with no outs, and he doesn't even get to third base.
So we could have had 1 hit through 9, and it's 1-1.
It's horrible.
Eric,
but the Giants weren't hitting. That's the problem. The Giants weren't hitting. 14 strikeouts. They weren't getting anything done at the plate. Don't get me wrong. Patrick Bailey should have had that play. He should have had that play. But again, does that mean the Giants would have won or lost?
Well, they did lose. He cost them. He gave up the run that cost them the game. So who do you blame?
And then you got the lineup who was 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. You could say Matt Chapman blew the game for the. You could say Willie Adames blew the game. Hold on.
He blew them the game. Because what are you going to say next? Well, the chef in the locker room didn't give them the quality meal that they deserved, so they weren't at the peak physical.
But that's what I'm saying. No. That's the same thing with Bailey. Look, should he have made the play? Yes. But I'm not pinning the loss on Patrick Bailey. I could say it up here and say Logan Webb should have never gave up that run. I mean, we could have said that, right? I mean, the guys needed the hit. That's the problem. They didn't hit. Bailey is replaying. No, you know what? And maybe they do.
Ramos
they
is
might.
replaceable, Eric.
Yes. Casey Schmidt.
Why do we, again, I call it the love affair. Lou and I call it the love affair effect. What is this? Oh, yeah, but he's Ramos, Eric. Yeah, get him the hell out of town. If you can't do the job, find someone who can.
And look, and I've already said this. Look, Ramos is a good player, but does he fit the mold of what Buster Posey wants to do? We're going to have to see what happens in this offseason.
He's decent.
I got a feeling.
Decent, but he's to me, he's average. I think that's the problem. Other ball clubs, if he was playing the outfield for another ball club, would that other ball club allow this to continue? That's the problem I face, is that these little things are not corrected, Eric.
Fair. Yeah. And you know what's weird, Glenn? Last year, he didn't have these faux pas. Last year, he played a decent outfield. This year, I mean, it's been a freaking adventure out there.
Exactly. Like the
and
fact
why? I don't know.
It continues. To me, it's sort of an accountability factor, Eric. You've got to be held accountable for your play.
Oh, absolutely. And you look, that may be addressed in the offseason.
And that's why I've opened up. I was the harshest critic of Verlander. I've opened up to him, Eric. The guy has pitched us to a position to win.
He has.
So as much as I will say, like, I know you're critical now that I'm saying that Bailey cost us the game, Verlander, he hasn't cost us the game just because he had a no decision or he lost. He pitched well. One of the best pitchers since we talked about it. Best
since the All-Star break. I mean, that's...
So the fact that guys aren't... Ramos is really susceptible to me. Bailey is becoming now he's Patrick Bailey. Yeah, well, he could be Patrick Bailey playing for the Miami Marlins for all I care.
And look, do they address... Maybe they do. I don't know. That's the beauty of the offseason, because you just don't know. Because, look, we're not privy to what the organization's going to do. Not by any stretch of the imagination. So what we could do is sit back as fans and say, hey, let's see what Buster Posey's going to do. I got a feeling that Buster Posey isn't going to sit idly by. I just don't see it. They got a lot of money. Oh, 100%.
I'm sure many will agree with this, Eric. I feel like this team pulled the wool over my eyes. I was taken for a ride this year, Eric. We had the best team, almost unbeaten in the preseason, got off to such a hot start. But before you knew it, 3 weeks in, it was back to the same old pulling the lineup strings and lefty-righty. I'll never be able to figure out. I understand. I'm not stupid. I understand, Eric, the fact that it's somewhat of an analytical game now. That's just what we have to face. But like Lou brought up, if a guy is batting has good numbers against a lefty, then why do you have to pinch hit? Well, it's just the thing you do now. No, it does. Do what you got to do. Don't worry about what other people do, Eric. And I believe we've been taken for a ride. This team never rebuilds. It keeps putting bandages. Oh, we signed these two players, so we'll be better. But we're never better, Eric. We're the same old 500 team, year in, year out.
Yep. Well, let's see what happens in this offseason. I got a feeling it's going to be different. And you know why it's going to be different? What's the difference between the last offseason and this offseason? And it has to do with dollars and cents. Last year, they can only do so many moves because of how much room they had to work with the CBT, right? They got under the CBT, so now they got out of the penalty, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. Now, with doing that, they're going to have they only have $160 million allocated. That's it. They got a shit ton of money that could go out there. And I got a feeling Buster Posey is going to use that strength to go out there and go get some players. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a trade in there. Again, you're going to
guys are bringing up good points tonight, Eric.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I was going to ask
again. If you sign the number 2, look at the depth we'd have then. And
yes. This is what I'm talking about.
If Posey
with the rotation,
he's compromising the pitching and defense and timely hitting.
I think he knows that. I think look, if we're seeing it, Buster Posey sees it. Are you? Come on. Can you guys sit there and tell me that Buster Posey is pleased the way that the team is playing? Look, is he going to come out and with a fire and brimstone? No, he's not. You don't do that as president of baseball operations, right? In the public,
I like the old Hal McRae. Pull the phone right out of the wall. Throw the phone. Get me fired up, Eric.
But when you're the base president, you got to be a little bit more presidential. Let's use that. Got to be a little bit more presidential. And then behind closed doors, maybe he's giving them the what for. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't be surprised. So to what Verlander and Lou Marson asked the question, would you sign Verlander next year? 100%. And to what Dallas said, I said it too. Go out there, go sign Ranger Suarez. Go out there and re-sign Justin Verlander. Then you can have a rotation of Webb, Suarez, Ray, Roop, Verlander. I'm okay with that. You could keep Bidwell down in AAA because you don't know. Maybe he's not ready because he's got that bad shoulder. So maybe you got to wait on him. And look, because you're going to need guys in AAA because in a baseball season, there's going to be a time when someone's going to go on the IL. It's just part of the game. And then you got that guy ready to go when for whatever reason. So I would say absolutely re-sign Verlander as a number 5. Don't come in bringing him here acting like he's going to be some big shot. Now, if he is, that's fine. That's a positive. I'm okay with that. But re-sign him, give him $11, $12 million and sign him for a year. Why not? You got the money to do it.
I know you're all over. You like, and you said it earlier today. You brought up the name Roop. I like what I've seen from.
He's done something.
Tang.
I think.
I like what I've seen from Tang, though. I want to see another start. He has not disappointed me whatsoever. His last 3 starts, Eric,
they've been pretty good.
Solid. And I go back to earlier. You can't, like Marty Laurie says, you can't go back. No. But his last start, what the fuck? Pardon me. What? I'm not happy. Sorry. Trying to keep it family friendly most nights. Apparently not tonight. Tang does have a possibility to make the lineup, I think, as the number 5 next year, Eric. And you get Verlander in at 4. I just don't know why they pulled him out.
Make it a competition, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And something that you brought up about bringing guys in, also on the flip side of that coin, Eric, is this organization has got to be ready and secure in themselves and their decision to just clean guys out. Like Matos, he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. He was up, I thought he was up to stay. No, he's out again. Okay, at this point, Eric, deadwood. Deadwood. You got to move on. You ever hear the term shit or get off the pot? Well, I don't see. There's a lot of shitting, but I don't see anybody getting off the pot and making any moves, Eric.
Well, I think you're gonna see quote unquote some bowel movements in the offseason. Luciano is probably going to be gone. Matos may be gone. Ramos may be traded away as well. I mean, there could be guys out there that, and maybe you go out there and you have to get somebody. We'll see.
Yeah, you can't rest on the laurels of the warm and fuzzies of. Oh well, I like Ramos, and Ramos has been good to the organization. Dude, you sit him down and you go, a lot of muffs out there in left field this year. We don't think you played up to your potential. We're trading you to the Phillies. Bye. Or we're terminating. You're gone. We're going to DFA you and we're going to move on in a different direction. You have to be willing. You can't be the status quo, Eric. Your goal should be to get better.
Yes. And
if they come back with a lot of these pieces next year, what are you saying to the fan base, to you, to me, to Giant Sports Talk Live fandom? You're saying we're happy with where we are.
I would be pretty upset if they run it back with the same roster. What I mean by the same roster, if you only made like one move or something, I would be very upset because look, it's going to take more than that one.
Marcatna. Luciano Matos, Ramos, Lee, Birdsong, Davidson trade for Acuna?
No, just no. They say no.
No.
I don't see that happen. Look, just because you throw a lot at them doesn't mean they're going to say yes, because they got to have room on their roster. You got to realize this. Just because you overwhelm them with quantity doesn't mean they could use all of them. They got their own 40-man they got to deal with. And some of those guys they may not want.
Hey, my friend, you have not even brought up the term bullpen yet.
Hey, we didn't have to talk about the bullpen. Only one guy came out, and that's it.
I know, but moving forward, give me a damn. Are we the only team in baseball right now without a? We need a closer, Eric.
Yeah, got to get a closer.
We need the man.
Got to get a closer.
We don't have the man.
You got to get a closer. There is no doubt about it. That's got to be there at the top.
Eric, if you don't have a closer, you've got an adequate bullpen, then you can ride the coattails of, hey, we got 5 starters, which we don't. It's an inadequate lineup all the way around. The bullpen, the starting pitching, and this. I like our lineup on paper, Eric. When you look at the lineup tonight, you go, geez, that's not a bad lineup. And I've said that the last few days. But, Eric, they're just not getting the job done. So, I mean, who's kidding who? One hit. What did Lou say? 22 innings, 2 hits. You get a hit every 21 innings. You get a hit. That's 1 hit a game. Come on. Jesus. Did we have 1 hit tonight? How many hits we have?
1.
So we have 1 hit today and 1 hit yesterday. Oh, come on, guys.
In 9 innings of baseball, yeah. They got a few more hits in the 11th of yesterday in the extras. But, yeah, in regulation, yeah, we got 2 hits in 18 innings.
I mean, nobody wanted this, Eric.
Hey, who wanted the poo-poo platter?
Certainly
didn't want
you.
the poo-poo. Did not want the poo-poo.
Although, I've been poo-pooing on this team for a long time, Eric, and everybody tries to run me out of town. Did I not say 500 team? Where were you going to hover when next weekend rolls around? Where are we going to be? We're going to be around 500, Eric. Is this team going to make the playoffs? Nope.
No.
I nailed
Team's not making the playoffs. Team's not making the playoffs. No.
The only thing I was wrong about, I was wrong with another thing. Wilmer, how did the guy get 12 home runs or something in 2 months? And then, and again, I'm going to make excuses for Wilmer. I think it's time to move on. However, again, he was playing well, Eric. 12, 13, 14 bombs. And then, all right, he's not going to DH every day anymore. All right, so you're not happy with his home run production. All right, you want to go in a different direction. Well, why can they not? We were running bases. We were using speed at the start of the year. I don't have to bring that up again. Everybody knows it. But what did they do? They got away from that, Eric.
I tell you what.
It's like we get.
If I'm not mistaken, Flores wound up getting hurt. Remember, he pulled a hamstring, and after he pulled that hamstring, he wasn't the same. Wasn't the same. Matthew Ehrlich, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Or I should say, welcome to the fraternity that we call Giants Sports Talk Live. Randy, Rogers, Duvall, all currently rostered for 26. Not currently rostered for 26. Too many guys in the pen currently that I'm not confident in. Lucchesi and Gage were good finds, but everyone else I just don't trust. That's okay. Matt, I could go with that. And I think the Giants, you got to go out there. Look, Eric Miller's going to come back. That guy, he's got the stuff. Look, one thing, he's an Ohtani killer, right? He struck out the 3 times that he's faced Ohtani, he's struck him out. So you're going to have Eric Miller come back. So that's going to be okay. You got to get another bullpen on, and you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to go get a closer. I talked about it yesterday. You got Robert Suarez, who's probably going to opt out of San Diego because he's having a great year. You got Ranger Suarez. I said this last night. You got freaking Ranger and you got Ranger and Robert. The Suarezes. Go out there and get both of them. Get one as a starter, get the other one as a closer, get another. Hey, look, you probably could bring back Tyler Rogers. I would be okay back with Tyler Rogers coming back. The guy was freaking money. The guy was money. He's got that funky right-handed submarine, and it's working.
It's got to look, to me, Eric, it's going to have to look like an offseason rebuild because this is not going to be an add 1 or 2 guys and it's fixed.
Right.
No way.
Thanks, Matt. Ehrlich, look at that. I think that's Scottish, isn't it? It's either Scottish or Irish, right? Ehrlich?
Where did Matt come from? I was going to ask him.
Ehrlich.
I was looking at the background in his.
Ehrlich. Well, hold on. Let me see the background there. That looks like he's definitely out there. I see some green back there.
I thought he was joining us again from Australia, Eric. It looks like
maybe.
an Australian background.
Maybe. Where are you reporting from, Matt? Where are you reporting from? Lou Marson.
On location tonight, Matthew.
Yeah, there you go. Is your lucky charm turning gray because making so many appearances on Giant Sports Talk Live?
Well, there you go. My home away from home.
Oh my God! Yes, and base. I would.
I have a
So
hard
bring
time
back
keeping up
Rogers.
with one show. Jesus.
Go bring back Rogers. Sign Robert Suarez. Eric Miller will be back and he'll be healthy. And maybe you get another piece or two. Look, bullpen arms are not hard to get. Yeah, I see him out there. It's that time.
I'm glad Lou agrees with me that this is like black and white black and white TV when you're watching this stuff. So I ask you an age-old question that I already know the answer to, Eric.
Hey.
Are you not being entertained?
Absolutely.
You're being entertained?
Entertained in different ways. Look, being entertained can involve different ways. You could be entertained and going like, what the hell did I just watch? I saw 10 walks in one hit. That's kind of entertaining a little bit.
I guess.
A little bit. But I tell you what, don't shit on black and white TV. Black and white movies and TVs, those are pretty damn good. Yeah, actually,
Hey, who ordered the poo-poo platter?
the acting was better with black and whites. I'll tell you that. That is a fact.
It was. They served up another poo-poo platter today, Eric. If it's another one tomorrow, you might have to talk me off the ledge.
I hear you. Guess what, Glenn?
It can't be that bad again. Oh, Jesus. At least we're not heading to the club tonight.
Nope.
We
will be tomorrow because, hey, tomorrow is Friday night. So
you and I would be like the two old Muppets on the Muppet Show. You, the two old guys, you and I would just be sitting at the bar. 2 more rum and coke. 2 more eyeballs. Yeah.
All right.
And all the guys in the chat like Fozzie Bear, eh? All the Fozzies out there. I got another joke. This team has been a joke.
Waka, waka,
all right,
waka.
You take the lead.
All right. Against the twin kaijus, dominant from the south, the Webb Slinger stands 7 tall with his sai at his side.
Well, the Grim Reaper is upon us, is he? Mm-hmm. Well, Eric, as they say, the great Nostradamus says, bats stroll quietly. Their chance was cast. No pulse for the drop. A DeLorean could be forged to bridge the gulf where orange October did stride.
Hey! Oh, hold on. What am I doing? I got something better than that, man. Come on. Got something better than that. Where is it at? Right here. Nostradamus SFG prophecies coming in like he always does. I love that stuff.
Nostradamus, he's inking up the quill tonight. Put together some nice stuff for us.
That was
I
good.
picture him. He's in a dark dungeon somewhere with the quill, with the feather. And do we know who he is yet? Is that Chardall?
Oh God.
No. Who is that?
Seriously. All right, what do we got? Oh, Matthew chiming in again. He hasn't said where you're from. Where you from, Matt? Tell us. Adamas, Devers, Chapman, Lee, Webb, Randy. Great core on paper. Need Ramos off this team. Can't deal with his negative defense and speed. Is a great controllable trade piece for a team in a small park. That's fair. Matthew, I don't disagree. I do not disagree. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Giants move off Ramos.
Oh, and the Sharks preseason is underway, Eric. I'm off the WNBA, and I'm moving on to Sharks hockey. The NHL season, the preseason is underway, so we got something to look forward to. I'd like to see a little postseason baseball, Giants, but you know what? You and I enjoy postseason baseball because it's meaningful baseball.
Love postseason baseball. It's so awesome.
I had a whole lot of fun with you and the guys last year in the post games.
Oh, that was good stuff. Hey, he's reporting from Canada. Have a great night, y'all. There you go. Look at that.
Well, you to the east or west of me. I'm on corner of Ness, Portage Avenue in Winnipeg. So where are you?
There you go.
I'd
What
say
part of
Matthew
Canada, Matt?
biggest province. I'll go Ontario.
I'm going to say he's somewhere west coast because look what time we're on. I'm going to say he's on the way. I think he's in British Columbia.
Caller. That's another mathematical move. I like it.
Where are you at, Matt? What part of Canada?
I went somewhere in Ontario. You're going British Columbia.
I'm going British Columbia. Yep. Just taking a guess. Let's see who wins. Matt. Again, it takes a few seconds for him to type. There's a little bit of a delay. It's kind of like TV. We got like an 8-second delay.
Yeah. 8? Sometimes it's much more than that.
Yeah, I know.
With our pathetic little... Guys, I still got a few chuckles out of Eric running down the street after the Xfinity, man. Is that the Xfinity truck?
Dude.
So now everyone gets so upset every time we're down. They must have an office down El Camino way. In San Francisco, El Camino, because every trip over there I go, she goes, "What are you doing?" I'm leaning out the window of the truck. She goes, "What are you doing?"
I'm
taking another picture of the Xfinity man. Like, was enough. I go, "No, Eric wouldn't believe. I've seen the Xfinity man again, just in case." And off the top of the show, I thought you were going to need him.
None of a business.
Oh, dude, did I show you this? Maybe I didn't. I had so much fun. I showed you this off air, I think, but they said, if I ever need to drown my sorrows at the WNBA games, Eric, they have my own little corner for me. Right
Hey, there you go. Look at you in your shoes. Look at that. What the
Oh yeah, I've got the purple. Got the purple shoes and the purple and black jersey.
Oh man, you got it. You got it bad, Glenn. You got it bad.
Oh, dude. One thing I do, man. Like that was atmosphere, dude. That was postseason. Eric, it's about making the postseason and letting it all hang out. What are we doing, Eric? There's a week left. Shut my microphone off. There's a week left.
Oh, whoa! What happened? There you go.
A week left there.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Anyway, hey, let's recap, or let's recap and then talk about tomorrow. Giants lose 2-1. They got one hit. There's nothing to speak about with the offense. Logan Webb was Logan Webb. He went 7 strong. Gave up, I think, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. The Giants the lineup didn't come through for him. Oh, that's what I was going to say real quick. Did you see the shots of Logan Webb in the dugout after he was done?
There's my boy. No, what happened?
Oh, dude.
I didn't see that. What did I miss?
You could tell in the the top of the 8th, he was pacing inside the dugout. And you could see he was not a happy camper. Not a happy. And you could take whatever you want from it. But he was not happy. Hold on. Let me see real quick.
See, that's winning. Going to an event and fun and cheering on your team. And Eric, it's about making the freaking playoffs, dude. Yep. Everybody shit on me all year. But, you like the basketball.
Let me see.
They were postseason bound, Eric. Went to the postseason.
Yep. Is there any
more fun cheering on a winning team?
Oh man, there's not even any post-game comments on NBC Sports Bay Area.
They just pack it in and go. Everybody went home.
Hey, I guess I don't see any.
They all ran home to watch Giant Sports Talk Live, Eric. They said, "Oh, it's going to be a dandy tonight."
Yeah, maybe this is crazy. Let me look on KMBR. Maybe it's something on KMBR then. But there is absolutely nothing on NBC Sports Bay Area. Nothing.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So what are they Are they trying to sweep it under the rug?
Maybe they just didn't want to talk.
Maybe nobody noticed.
Maybe they just didn't want to talk. But yeah, if you go back, I don't know if you could take a look at it. He was not happy. He was pacing in that dugout, and he looked pretty pissed off.
Nobody's happy in the chat tonight. Look at this. There's a fun fact for you, Eric. 23 likes tonight. Look at the crowd we had in here. Look at the number.
Yeah, I got to hit that like.
Yeah.
Got to hit that like, man.
And the notification bell.
Yep.
I love all these guys on the other chat.
Hit that notification bell.
Slam it. Just click on it. And you'll know when we went live. Like today, we did a preview. We did the preview today when we were all excited about the weekend, Eric. I'm sorry to break the news to everybody. There will not be a preview show tomorrow. Sorry. Where's Greg?
Dallas.
Where'd Greg
Dallas.
go?
I don't
Greg's
know.
hiding.
They didn't show up during the game. No reason to show up after the game. Dallas coming in hard, man. Holy crap. You're not wrong, Dallas. That one was a tough one. As a Giants fan, man, that one is a tough. If you're not going to execute when you're supposed to execute, well, this is what you get.
Dallas, from just down the street, he deserves one of these.
Way to go, Dallas. That was nice.
He wins an Academy Award for that one tonight. That was great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's get to hell. Oh, tomorrow, Robbie Ray goes for the Giants. It's another 7-10 start. And Clayton Kershaw, you know there's going to be a lot of fanfare. There's going to be a lot of fanfare. I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes really long tomorrow. Because when he comes off the mound, I'm sure there's going to be a celebration. I guess it's the last, right? This is his last home game that he's pitching at. So it's going to be huge tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of pomp and circumstance.
All right, Eric, on the way out, not to skin the dead cat. Speaking of cats, he's got the zoomies. I'm heading out anyway. But this year, we should relabel this over here in the little boxes. This was my Justin Verlander. How about those San Francisco Giants, Eric?
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
How about a collective? They all toppled.
Yeah.
They're not weebles and wobbled and didn't fall down. They all fell in dead souls.
Did you say dead soldiers? Woo! Man, yeah.
Downright ugly.
Yeah, there was a man down. Man down. Let's get the heck out of here. Guys, we'll be back here probably around the same time. Might be a little bit later, depending on what's going to go on with Verlander and his farewell game at Dodger Stadium. So,
hey, I was out the other night. I saw Spider-Man. Is that any? Can we get him?
You go. I'd rather have Stitch.
Well, he kind of looks like Ramos out there, doesn't he? Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, I don't know. Usually we try to get you geared up for tomorrow. I don't know what to expect, Derek, to be honest with you. I want
to see Eldridge. Just see, and let me guess, Eldridge is probably not going to start tomorrow. He's not going to start tomorrow. With Kershaw going tomorrow, do not expect to see Eldridge in the lineup. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. We'll see.
There is the possibility, guys, too, that we were in this to win this. The excitement level was off the charts. Jesus, Eric, we could finish sixth spot out in that wild card race, and a week from now, next weekend, we could be sitting here next Friday night saying, Jesus, Eric, how did we fall 9 games out so fast?
I know.
We're 4 out. Eric, it takes a goddamn miracle now.
Yeah.
Think about it. Game time tomorrow is
7:10 on Apple TV. Jay, thank you for that super chat earlier, buddy. Same thing with JB. JB also donated right off the top of the show. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for everybody who super chatted, everyone who participated. Thanks, Lou Marston, for showing up on the show for a few minutes. I appreciate you, buddy. And
all the donations, keep the lights on, allowing us to do what we love to do. Good or bad. Still love talking Giants baseball. I love getting fired up, Eric. The doctor said you cannot do the show next year. Well, I'm going to be back. Can't wait.
It's Giants Dodgers baseball. Let's enjoy it. Come on.
If I die, heart failure, and that could be possible, Eric. I got to take my pills. If I die, I want that on my headstone. The Giants killed Glenn.
Hey guys, there's only 9 games of Giants baseball left. Let's enjoy it. Look, that's where we're at now, guys. That's where let's enjoy.
9 games left.
9 games left. That is it, guys. 9
And then
games.
the postseason. Then we'll get to at least experience some real ball, Eric.
Yeah, but as far as Giants baseball, that's it. Let's enjoy the rest, man. Let's see what happens.
And it gets no better than the first couple of days because you got the afternoon game, the supper game, the evening game. It'd be like fall,
the beginning.
And the next day, you get the American League team going. It's going to be probably the best.
It's going to be fun.
Opening day, and opening day for me is the greatest day of the year. Better than Christmas or Thanksgiving, 4th of July. But I think the first 2 days of the postseason are 2 of the most glorious days. If you want, it's the meaningful games, Eric. They're short series, meaningful games. You're going to have 6 games going boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, they go.
I'm excited.
All
At
right,
least something
get out of here.
up after this fiasco. See you tomorrow night, buddy. See you guys in the chat. Thanks for coming in.
You guys be good, and we will see you tomorrow night. It's tomorrow, Friday night. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.